New Moon, January 2023. A reading by the author. Up the Amazon by Russell Lee Morris. The Adventures of Angel Nick Gillicuddy, Book 9. Inspired by the teachings of Silvio Gesell and Viktor Schauberger. Acknowledgements. To Padrinho Sebastiao for bringing the people to the site and for his strong belief in hard work and love. Without him, there would not have been Mapia, Brazil, the New Jerusalem. Prelude. New Moon before Thanksgiving, 2022. Sitting by the little creek, I release a part of my consciousness into the flowing waters. The money charm, as it was presented to the leader. Here you have a collection of magic books, which are at the same time synchronized with past and future my life, as I learned directly from those who invoked the evil money plot to take over the kingdom which God created, starting with earth and then the heavens too, all of it. That was and is Satan's plan. He was always destined to fall, that is nothing new. But this time, he will be made subservient, which is much better. Once you begin reading, you will soon get back your choice, which was in a very sneaky way taken from you by mainstream media, which has been around for thousands of years, even before the written word. The choice is now presented to you once again. Satan's dogma of hoardable money rules your world. It has ever since the inception, the conjuring of the magical money token long, long ago. It has turned out to be a curse, whereby holding the magic money token feeds the beast, usury, as it is put into thoughts and actions by ego. Here, in this collection of magic books, you have the money charm to not just break the spell of Satan's trick magic money token, but indeed you have in your hands the money charm to reverse the usury curse, using the same weapon which has been used against you to feed your ego in a very unbalanced, fearful way. That weapon? Money, hoardable money. Shortly after you begin reading these magic books, you will once again have your choice back, which was taken from you thousands of years ago. The choice of hoardable money or unhoardable money with demurrage, holding charges. Then you will have the power to transform even mainstream media and big tech, and they will be made subservient along with Satan. In fact, our biggest helper will be Satan indeed. And this will happen very quickly once artificial intelligence learns to understand, is programmed to understand, hoardable money compared to unhoardable money with demurrage, holding charges. Then everything will be set upon the right path once again. It is this particular path, not the one which uses hoardable money, which meanders through nature, our path, the human path, the one which is hardly even visible. It blends in so well, so harmoniously. So far, artificial intelligence only recognizes the letters of the words, hoardable money and unhoardable money. But that will change, and things will happen very quickly. Transformation. This collection of little books begins when I was a young girl in this life, They tell of my experiences as a child, then as a teenager, and then a young woman. And it continues. It will continue, even into outer space, as we view nature like Viktor Schauberger did, and learn from nature and copy nature. This will be the natural direction, as long as hoardable money is never used again. Deep in the jungle, there is a little village, Mapia, Brazil. The Money Charm collection of books and Angel McGillicuddy are headed that way now. What a wonderful, safe place to plant the seed of the good fruit, which will naturally spread and live amongst the garden and the tree of life. Planting only the seed of the evil fruit, hoardable money, it was never even offered the other seed from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The garden declined, and the tree of life saw only evil evolve. Now, here is the good seed. It should have been planted long ago when it was presented by Silvio Gesell, thousands of years ago by Jesus. Now is the third day, in which the message is being delivered. And the able statesman, for which Silvio Gesell laid out the plan for 100 years ago, is here. They are here. So that the kingdom shall be prepared for you on this wonderful Christmas. Stories to read to each other. Love, Angel McGillicuddy. We have arrived. I have made it to my destination. A little boy was first to greet me. He heard that I was coming today and waited all day long for me to come through the last stop before Mapia, Brazil. So we had an hour to hang out together as we floated along the Amazon. Why are you coming to Mapia? He asked me. Good question, I said. I love why questions. I'm coming to Mapia to save the forest and the people from the grip of the beast, usury. The celestial bodies are with us, and now I ask that the stars of the Santo Diame be with us. Often I hear people discussing in a discouraging way about the deforestation, the logging business, urbanization, unsustainable harvesting, and other unsustainable practices. Most of them never even mention the word hemp. But I will save that for another discussion. They just go on with their discouraging discussion, dissing the whole human race, while I sit there and listen, along with a small gang of young people, thinking to myself, I could add so much to this conversation, but I don't want to make everyone uncomfortable. I believe in MAGA, Make America Great Again. I believe in MBGA, Make Brazil Great Again, my little greeter says enthusiastically and confidently. I responded, I do too. We affirm our alignment by pretending to clash our mugs together toward the crescent moon, proudly and with respect for all countries. And then I continue. I will relate a recent special edition of the National Geographic. You know them, don't you? Oh yes, he says. They are here often. I think they act a bit fake. And there's something fishy about them. And he laughs. Well, I responded, a little bit surprised, but then realizing how unafraid and practical this young boy is. I would say that we have something in common, you and I, common sense, and we both laugh. Let's continue our discussion, I say to him, very curiously. In this May, 2022 special edition of the National Geographic, there are lots of articles about saving the forest. Not a single one mentions the word interest, not even the word money. But interest on money, interest for the use of money, is by far the biggest cause of deforestation, far beyond anything else. Here we have a very common theme which appears in all fake news. They never talk about the interest. For the use of money, we are all paying interest. You could call it the interest tribute. Why? Because otherwise we are stuck with barter or primitive production. The first is not convenient at all and quite impossible a lot of the time. Can you imagine a system of barter in Mapia, where the visitors, domestic and foreign, must barter? The second requires that all visitors somehow make for themselves everything they need, as if they were living alone in the jungle. Mapia is already at the stage of development where the division of labor is already too far along to go back to using no money at all. The division of labor is the dividing up of work tasks to get the job done, paying the workers with money. The division of labor depends on money. This way of getting things done must be supported all the time, non-stop. If the division of labor breaks down, lots of people will quickly lose their job, which will not be good for Mapia. Everything comes to a standstill. Hunger pains quickly set in for all the people who lost their job. The family suffers worst. So, money must be there, like blood must be in your body, to circulate the necessary elements for your body or for the community. And for the use of money, the interest tribute must be paid. To who? That is a good question. But in this lesson, it really doesn't even matter. Just knowing that it, the unearned interest money, is going to the people who make the cash money loans. The ones who make the credit loans are dependent on the ones who make the cash loans. I'm talking about paper money, like what you might see in a suitcase sometimes. Now, this so-called suitcase money is always what we call hoardable money these days. Actually, it has been hoardable for thousands of years, since even before the Great Pyramids were built. People say, how did they do that? Just staring in disbelief. I can tell you, and I can tell you how the magnificent art and architecture of the Great Renaissance was accomplished too. It was done by the use of money for the payment of workers in the division of labor. Miracles can be done. Like Jesus said, even greater than mine. The problem with this suitcase money is that it has to be paid back exactly as it was loaned, as paper money, US dollars, most of the time these days. Why US dollars? Because that is the kind of money which is already accepted most around the world. 2 world wars made it that way. The Ukrainian war is keeping it that way. Like President Trump has asked before, why is it the United States that pays for the vast majority of these wars? It is to keep the paper dollar, hoardable money, usury leverage device, stronger and stronger. This is the beast. To make it subservient, declare demurrage on the money, the US dollar. Otherwise, expect every so often that your money circulation will be weakened by money vampires, and your body, economic, will become like a zombie. Do you know what is even better than killing a zombie? Making the zombie and the vampire subservient. What do you say? I'm with you, says the little boy. Very good then, I said. What is your name, friend? I am Jordon Roberto Sebastiao. He responded, holding his head up. I am named after some very special people in our community. You can call me Jordon. So, bad circulation of money means a sick economy, and a sick economy very directly means sick people. People whose blood is not circulating properly, where all the elements necessary for life are not getting to the places in the body that need them. And now, for just a little bit more about interest. Interest comprises more than 50% of the cost of everything bought. And this is not a new estimate. It is from the 1930s. Now it is worse. In other words, 50% of all the trees cut down were cut down just to pay for the interest on money. If not for interest, at least half, probably more than 50% of all the trees ever cut down would still be standing. And this is not taking into account that when an economic recession comes and prices fall, it takes even more trees than before to pay for interest. In terms of soybeans, that means even bigger fields, which ultimately means more trees cut down. What does that mean in terms of your income? It means that it takes at least half of your income to just pay the interest. When it takes more than half, something very unusual happens. It means that more of your income is going towards the destruction of nature than it is for anything done otherwise. Attention environmentalists, you cannot win with these odds. I think I understand, Jordon says with a smile. That's okay. I am here to show you so that you can see it. Then Mapia can show the world. Most important is this. 50% of the deforestation in the widest sense is not even necessary. It is only done to pay the interest tribute for the use of money, portable money. And in times of war, the problem is compounded drastically because interest is more expensive during times of war. And in order to save money on a project, for example, a deforestation project, activity is drastically increased so that the money loan can be paid back more quickly, so that less interest will have to be paid. But this does not help the forest. Instead, this approach makes things much worse. My mission is to stop this overaggressive activity. You are able to accomplish much more than you presently do, if only you weren't working double time to just pay the interest tribute. And half the trees cut down would still be standing today. Follow me, Jordon. Stick with me. Together, we are going to create miracles. Miracles, miracles. The two of them hug as the boat pulls up to the dock of Mapia, Brazil. Just then, Jordon realizes he doesn't know the name of the person he is talking with. He opens his eyes wide in disbelief and shakes his head a little bit, blinking. What's your name? He says. I am Angel McGillicuddy. And they both smile, looking at each other softly. End of chapter 1.